So today we are going to look at the shallow copy of the linked list. So what's the difference between deep copy and shallow copy? Deep copy basically creates an entirely new object and recursively copies all the objects referenced by the original object. In the context of linked list with random pointers, a deep copy means each node in the copied list is a brand new node, and the nest and random pointers in the new list point to the new nodes, not shared with the original list. And shallow copy, it creates a new object but does not create new objects for the referenced objects. Instead, it simply copies references to the original objects. In a linked list, a shallow copy duplicates the nest and random references directly, meaning the new list shares the same nodes as the original. So here's the code for the shallow copy of the linked list. Here we have this node class, and let me pull this one here. I've stored a lot of arrows here so that it will be helpful for me to draw the associations. I'm going to take these arrows out so that I can use these arrows when needed. Okay, just gonna, why am I, okay. So here, first we are going to walk through the code with a simple example of a linked list containing three nodes. Node 1 with a value 1 and a nest and the random pointer, and value 2 and the nest and the random pointers, and the third node with value 3 and its own nest and the random pointers. So I didn't show where these pointers are pointing to at this time. I'm going to do it soon when I walk through the code. So let's say I'm going to show the difference between the deep copy and the shallow copy. So for deep copy, it's going to be, as we see in the previous video, it's going to be like this. I'm going to take this arrow and the nest pointer is pointing to the node 2, and here the nest pointer here is pointing to node 3. And this one, it's here the final, the nest pointer in the final node in the linked list, it's going to be the last node in the linked list is going to be null unless it's going to be cyclic. Yes, so here I am going to show how a deep copy would be. A deep copy would be when you copy this, and also the random. And when we have this linked list with random node, this is how it behaves. Let's say the random pointers doesn't have to be sequential, doesn't have to point to the nodes that are in sequential order, they can point to any node. So let's say the random node here is pointing to the third node. The random pointer in the first node is going to move this a little bit. So here I'm going to say the random pointer of the first node is pointing to the third one, and maybe the random pointer is just random. It's here. It could point to any node. Here the second one is pointing to again the first one, and the third one. The random pointer here is going to, just I'm going to make a copy of this so that I don't lose all these arrows, which I can pull easily. And here the random pointer here is going to point to the one. Let's say it's pointing to 1 too, so that it will look better for us visually. So yeah, this is how it is. And in the deep copy, basically like what we are doing is we are duplicating this node, and the first step would be duplication, and then the second one would be making like fixing the nest and the random pointers. So the in the deep copy it's gonna be, and the third step is gonna be separating the both the original list and the deep copied list. So the final state, it's gonna be two different lists. So in the deep copy, the nest is only going to point here, but here in shallow copy, we could say the nest pointer could the nest pointer of the first node is only gonna point to the second node in the original list and not the duplicated one, D1. But what happens to the random pointer? The random pointer, it's in the copied list still point to the original list nodes. So what that means, so here the random is pointing to the third node, so here the same thing happens here. And the random copy of the not the random copy, I'm sorry, I got distracted. So here I am, and what happens to the random pointer in the second node? Here again we are having a copy of the second node. We are going to call it D2. So here, and so what happens to the nest? It depends. The nest pointer could always point to the just writing some notes here. So here I am, yeah. So what happens to the nest pointer of the each node in the copied list? It will point to the newly created nodes in the shallow copy. So for example, here the nest of this one, first node 1 is pointing to the nest, pointing to the node 2. So but then here the nest of the duplicated the D1, the copied node D1 could point to D2, which is a copied node, and or node in the copied list. However, the main takeaway here is that random pointer will still point to the original nodes in the original list. So here we have the first one, the random is pointing to 3. So the second one, the random pointer of node 2 is pointing to node 1. So we do the same thing for D2 too. We just do that. And here what happens to the nest pointer? I'm just gonna copy this one, copy this arrow, and what happens to the nest pointer in D2? It should point to D3. So I'm just gonna make a copy of this node 3. And here the random pointer of D3, it is going to mimic what the random pointer in node 3 is doing. So I'm just going to put it here. It's pointing to node 1, and Yes, so now we are going to, yeah, what happens, yeah, this is now, and this is, so let's see how we are gonna do this in code. So first let's have the original list here, and I'm just going to define the original list so that we can copy it to the next slide. So the next, let me do it real quick here. This one goes to here, and this one, yeah, that's how it is. And as we defined, the first one is pointing to node 3. And the second one is pointing to node 1. And the third one is going to point to node 1 again. So this is what we have, and I am going to copy and move it to the other slide here. Yeah, we need it. We need it right here. And now I'm going to say, let's look into the code. First step, it's gonna be, first we are checking if the head is null, and it is not null because we have this particular input. Let's okay, so let me just try to, the first step would be create a new dummy head for the copied list, and Okay, sorry, just taking too much time. And here I'm just gonna copy this one and just walk through the code there. This is the whole code. Okay, first let me just copy little by little. We are gonna play with this right now, and let me bring a text box here and here what I'm trying to do is like create a new dummy head for the copied list. So we are going to create a new head, and that's going to be head.val. The head.val is node 1. So we are going to create a new node with 1. So we are just going to copy this one, and oh no, what is this? What's happening? I think I don't want to copy it with the arrows. I'm just need to copy only this. So here I created a copy, and it's gonna be D1, and as you can see, yeah, we created the new head which is D1, and now the next step is gonna be, let's bring the cursor here. It's a new current. Okay, we need a new current now, and that's gonna be the new head. Of course, it's D1, and the next thing is original current, and that's gonna be head.nest. We have the original head. The original head is node 1. Yeah, we know that. It's always node 1 unless it's, yeah, we can talk about it later, but the original head is node 1 mostly and always, only except for a very few times. And it's like, so the original current is gonna be, let's take the cursor and move it here. It's gonna be head.nest. So what is that? The head is node 1, and the nest pointer of head is pointing to node 2, so that's going to be node 2. So yeah, that's what we have now. Now let's go to the next steps. The next step is copy the structure of the list. Nest and random pointers point to, okay, now we're going to copy this. Yeah, it's a really small code when compared to the deep copy. So here we are going to copy the structure of the list. That is, the nest and the random pointers point to the original nodes. What? No, not the nest, only the original. Only the random pointers, not the original. So here, while the original current is not null, yeah, the original current, yeah, it's not null, it's node 2. So we are gonna be here again. Let's take the cursor from there and put it right here. So again, now the new node is gonna be, we are creating a new node again, and that's gonna have the original current's value. That is, we are duplicating node 2, so that's gonna be D2. So we just need to duplicate this. Yes. And here I said that original, okay, there are no, we are not assigning the nest and the random pointers of D1 yet. So let's continue with the code, and now the cursor moves to the nest tab. New current dot nest is equal to, what is a new current? Yeah, we already know it's D1. D1 is the new current. So, but now new current dot nest is equal to the new node which we made right now. So it's gonna be D2. So the new current is D1, right? Yes. So D1 dot nest is equal to D2. So here we are saying, just copy this. And let's just move this here. Yeah, and this is actually D2, not node 2. And here we are going to the nest, the cursor is going to the nest line. Here they're saying the new current dot random is equal to head dot random. So the new current is D1, and D1 dot random is equal to head dot random. What is head? Head is node 1, and we have, yeah, that's node 1. Node 1 dot random so which is actually pointing to node 1 dot random is pointing to node 3. Yeah, that's right. So d1 dot random should point to, let's duplicate this arrow and drag it here. So d1 dot random should point to node 3, just like node 1. And what else? What's the next line? Where are we? Here, we are right here. Yeah, share the same random. That's the whole point of the shallow copy. Yeah, share the same random reference. And here the cursor is pointing here, and now we have a new current again. So new current is equal to new node. The new node that we created is D2. So that's going to be the new current. Yes, because we are all done with D1 and we are now at D2, and here what are we gonna do? So now the cursor, let's move the cursor here. So the original current is equal to, what is the original current that we had? It is node 2, but here it's, yeah, original current dot nest is equal to node 2 dot nest. So that's what is node 2 dot nest. That is pointing to node 3. So it is node 3. Now the original current is node 3, and now the original current is not null, so we are gonna keep going in the loop again, and now the cursor is gonna be here. Now we are here, and we are creating a new node now, and that is going to be the original current. We are duplicate the original current is node 3, right? Yeah, duplicate node 3, and that's going to be D3. So the new node that we created is node 3 D3, and the next step is going to be the new current dot nest. So here we have a new current which is D2. So D2 dot next is equal to D3. That's right. Okay, let's do that. So D2 dot next. Let me copy this arrow. Let me drag this arrow here. And D2 dot next is equal to D3. Where do we have D3? Do we have D3? Yeah, we need to, as we said in the step, yeah, we did make D3, right? New node, yeah. So let me just copy this one. So it's going to be D3. And where are we here? The new current is new node. So yeah, that one. And then now we are moving on to the next step, which is going to be this one. And here new current dot random. So the new current is D2. So let me just put it here so that it'll be easy to spot where we are. New current dot random is equal to D2 dot random is equal to head dot random, which is node 1. Dot random. So which is so node 1 dot random, it's pointing to node 3. Sorry. So the new current dot random. So what is the new current? We have D2. Yeah, D2 is the new current, and D2 dot random is equal to what? D2 dot random is pointing where? What? Yeah, okay. So yeah, so that's the thing. So D2 dot random is equal to node 1 dot random. So now we are assigning this D2 dot random is equal to the node, yeah. What? How can head dot random? Okay, so here d2.random should be pointing to the node 1. Yes, not node 1.random. Do we have that in the code? It should be new current.random. Yeah, d2.random is equal to the head. Yes, there's a problem with the code here. I will stop the video right now and I will continue with the code in the next video because it's yeah, right now I need to go somewhere, so I'm gonna stop the video right now and I'm gonna come back and we will work on it. I can talk more about it. See you in the next video.